What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
So, Nick, wow, Yair Rodriguez looked beautiful last night against Josh Emmett. That was spectacular and electric from start to finish, and who would have thought that he would finish the fight from his back with a triangle choke?
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. And one thing that I didn't think I was going to say after that fight was that it was basically a flawless performance for Yair Rodriguez. I mean, Josh Emmett, from the moment that fight started, looked like he was in over his head. Yair looked calm. He looked composed. He was waiting for Emmett to sort of show him what he was going to do, which everybody knows Josh Emmett hits like a Mack truck. So he's going to look for those big shots, those big hooks, those big power punches, and even some big kicks. But Yair knew to keep the range, use his long arms and limbs the way he needed to, and he didn't start throwing punches immediately as soon as the fight started. He didn't start kicking immediately once the fight started. Josh Emmett, however, looked to engage as soon as the bell rang. And as soon as he felt some of those kicks from Yair, he didn't like him. He started to change his positions. He started to move a little bit more dynamically, and he tried to avoid that range, which is very difficult to do when you're fighting somebody like Yair Rodriguez. You know, if you want to be safe against a fighter like Yair, who's really good at that kickboxing range, you either got to be really far away or really close in. But that danger zone is when you have to cross that line and get inside so you can score some of your own offense. And I think Josh Emmett felt some power, and Yair Rodriguez knew he had him right where he wanted him. But Yair Rodriguez looked better than we've ever seen him before.
Yeah, this was definitely the best version of Yair that we've ever seen, and now that sets up a matchup with the best version of Volkanovski that we've ever seen. Even in defeat, that may have been the best Volk we've ever seen. He went up to 155 and looked great against who was the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, who was previously unstoppable at 155. So I think you're going to get the best version of Yair versus the best version of Volk. I think that fight is way better than a lot of other matchups that you could put together for a title fight right now. And I'm really looking forward to the next title fight at featherweight.
Yeah, the only problem for Yair is the fact that Volkanovski just went through the most insane training camp of his life and proved to us that he's grown leaps and bounds, even since the last time we saw him defend his 45 belt. I truly think that Volkanovski is now firing on all cylinders. He didn't look like he took a ton of damage in the fight against Islam. It looks like he could probably bounce back and fight sometime in the summer. And I know Yair didn't really take any damage either, so hopefully we can make that fight happen sooner than later, and we don't have to have some sort of long delay before we see Volkanovski back in there. But I just think that Volkanovski was spot on in the cage afterwards when he was on the mic saying, look, every featherweight out there better watch out, because what I just went through was next level, and I just proved to myself that I can hang with absolutely everybody, not only in my weight class, but in the weight class above, which is known as the most competitive weight class mixed martial arts has ever seen, and go in there and out-wrestle in some scenarios Islam Makhachev, go in there and out-strike a guy who's bigger than me, and go in there as a big-time underdog and prove to the world that I arguably won that fight.
Definitely. That camp changed Volkanovski forever and for the better, because he's always been known as the guy who's dynamic on the feet, uses a lot of movement, great punches, great kicks, great combos, insanely strong for the weight class, good in the clinch, good everywhere. But, you know, he's an Australian guy. He didn't grow up in that Division I sort of wrestling background that a lot of people from the United States, especially from Dagestan, Chechnya, those guys just have that pedigree that's insane. But Volkanovski showed us that with the right camp and the right training partners and the proper dedication, you can start to bridge that gap. So now I think you're going to be contending with, for the rest of his career, a Volkanovski that had all of the skills that he had prior to the Islam camp, plus just a next level improvement in his grappling. And I think for that reason, Volkanovski is going to go down as the 145 GOAT. And I think the only thing that's going to slow him down is age. You know, he's 34 years old now. I think maybe 37, 38, we start to see him lose a step, so to speak, just ever so slightly, and maybe there's a contender at that point who's just doing something that we haven't seen before that could take him out. But short of Father Time catching up with him, I see Volkanovski rattling off title defenses at 145.
Me too. And after Yair Rodriguez's performance last night, I was sitting there thinking, oh God, it looks like somebody might be catching up to Volkanovski in the 145 division, a division he looked like he's been ahead of by a country mile for several years now. And then Volkanovski comes out there and looks as impressive as he did against Islam. For me, I think this is the absolute best fight 45 could make right now, and it's going to happen sooner than later, so I can't wait for it.
I totally agree. Thanks for watching this video, guys. We're your hub for all things combat sports. If that's your jam, we appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video, and drop us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Peace.